Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So I just got to jump right into this, guys. I'm doing a Blu-ray update. When I asked what this update was going to be about, what I heard is they will try, but will fail. So there's a lot of stuff going on in the energies today. Okay. This energy that I've been detecting since I got up this morning has been a very questionable energy. It's definitely been something that requires deeper observation, a more intimate form of observation where you are seeing with clarity, intentionally seeing all of the things that are being attempted, a lot of attempts to incept your thoughts. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but for many people, you're having all of these really intense, very upsetting dreams. They're not necessarily nightmares, but they're just dreams that are almost like based in worst case scenario in your real life circumstances, right? It might not be the reality of what's going on, but it's definitely based in your real life circumstance. Maybe your relationship, your job, things like that. So we need to take a good look at what this is. Something is being attempted on the collective whole, with a very heavy emphasis on those of us who are I would say those of us who are calibrated to be spaces of inspiration for others, right? Whether you're a public figure or you are a person who just, you know, is seen as a strong source of inspiration and light in your local environment, your personal life. A lot of what I'm picking up on and have been picking up on for quite a few days now is people who are like that, who have that type of purpose. We're being very closely observed by something that is bordering on the feeling of nefarious, right? Ooh. Let me get started. I will even go and share this with you guys. So, right before I started this live stream, I wanted to make sure that there was no interruptions, that I could pack as much information into this reading as possible before my next session starts. And so I decided to go and tinkle. Tell me why I got locked in the bathroom. Not even joking. And my husband was not in our room anymore. I was literally locked in the bathroom. The door, the knob wouldn't completely retract. And so it was in the door. It was in the door jamb. And I was like, listen, demon Horitas, I will break this mother effing door down. I'm full of pre-workout. Okay. And I was just like, I'm not staying locked in this bathroom. And I was looking at the latch and I was turning the doorknob that way, that way, that way, and it wouldn't completely pull back. And I was like, listen, I will break this whole door jam. I don't give a fuck right now. You're not locking me in here. And I yanked it and it let go. I was like, that's right. I literally, I did that with my lip. That's right. Okay. So that's the energies that we're dealing with. It's very specific types of energies, and we need to be ready by way of observation. Okay? By way of observation. So let's see what's happening. Yep. Right from the start. Right from the start. Everything is being brought out into the open. There will not be fulfillment in what's being attempted right now, right from the start. This is soul speaking to you. 1111. Yep. 1111. Now, whatever is being attempted, it's something bordering on nefarious. That's the sense that I get. Attempts to access your field, attempts to destabilize you, attempts to get your emotions in some type of way. No, you stay centered. Whatever inconvenience, whatever happens today, tomorrow, next day, you remind yourself this is merely an inconvenience. This is not the end all be all of what I am going to experience. This is merely an inconvenience, and I don't care enough to be that bothered by this. Remind yourself this is going to become very, very important, okay? This is merely an inconvenience, and I don't care enough about this inconvenience to be bothered by it to that degree. Okay. These inconveniences, they're designed to interfere with your ascension mechanics, rebirth in reverse. They don't want this next part of your development to come forward. Who are they? I don't know. They're proverbial. I don't know. They're metaphoric. I don't know who they are. They are the ones who are rooted in a desire to be opposed to your development, your expansion of your awareness, your retrieval of more of your truth so that you could live deeper in your purpose. That is who they are. And whoever they are is going to be different for each of us. Whatever and whoever they are, I don't care. I don't care. Because guess what? I'm focused. On what? Anything and everything I need to be focused on for my journey, for the development of my gifts, for the expansion of my awareness of the need for even deeper depths of submission to the will of my soul. It is what it is. And what it is what I make it. It is what it is, and what it is what I make it. I am in full control of my journey. Okay? But I mean, what about the inconveniences? Yes, they're inconvenient. I'm full control of how those inconveniences affect me. I am in full control of what I do after I've been inconvenienced. If you allow yourself to shut down because you've been inconvenienced, you've given your power away. You can't control every aspect that exists outside of you. You absolutely can control every aspect of how your external environment internally affects you. That is what you are in control of. Okay. There is an attempt to prevent you from moving forward and ending whatever cycles are not healthy for you. Like, nope, that's that. What is going on? I'm seeing village baby be mentioned. um, do you need me to speak on your behavior, village baby? Or have you already spoken to yourself on this? About this? Have you already spoken with yourself about this? Or do you need me to speak publicly about your behavior? What do you need from me right now? Do you need me to simply acknowledge what you experienced this morning and move forward? What do you need right now? Right? I give you, um, okay, speak publicly about it. All right. So This right here, Village Baby just shared. Um, I punched out some glass today at work and got sent home from work early. What did that accomplish? He says to publicly speak about it. What did this accomplish? What was the objective by that reaction or response to a trigger, to a stimulus at work? Nothing. What did you learn from this? It's my hope that you learned that venting in that way, physically venting, is not going to further your process of purging out with minimal complication, minimal additional inconvenience, right? There are messages that we have received weeks ago, months ago, that are now needing to be applied today. What did I tell you? I don't even know when. They trying to get your ass fired, right? They're trying to get you fired. Why? Because if you get fired from a good job where they appreciate you, where they recognize your value, it will destabilize you beyond, right? I will not sympathize with you simply because to sympathize with you is to empower that insecurity, that rage that was left unchecked, unrecognized, unattended to, and it blew up. Do I need to chastise you? Do I need to lecture you? No. You simply need to be reminded of how these things work. And that's that. And then we carry forward. You feel what you feel. You feel that in a safe space where you are not adding complications to what is already complex for you. And this applies to everybody, right? This applies to everybody. Now, if you allow yourself to recognize and acknowledge emotions in a space where it is appropriate to do so, then it becomes something that is processed, and in that processing you are purging out that energy. If you cannot process, you use up that energy physically. Run in place, do jumping jacks, do push-ups, whatever will physically challenge you. And this, I'm not speaking to Village Baby, I'm speaking to our entire community. This energy has to be used up. It has to be used up, whether it's emotional or intellectual buildup. It needs to be used up. If it is not used up, you will lose control. Thank you for sharing what happened this morning, Village Baby. It does not paint you in a bad light. It shows our community why you are such a valued member. You have the courage to exist in a space of vulnerability, not to be made an example of, but to share your experiences so someone else in our community does not have the same experience, can learn from what you experience. Do you see how this space is so sacred, so powerful? And it empowers you in such a way where they're taking my videos down. Why? Why? They don't want you to know what you need to know in advance of when you need to know it. Because when you have an awareness, you can observe from a space of neutral observation. You could be like, oh, you know what? We talked about this like last week. Emmy was on some shit last week. Like she was on one, like, rah, 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 rah. And I was like, what the fuck she tripping about? And now I'm seeing like, this is what she was tripping about. She didn't even know this. No, I'm not participating. No, thank you. I'm not participating. No, no, no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I'm not getting caught up in that. Right. And it's not because I know everything. I just randomly get these messages. You need to do what you need to do with it. I don't know when it gets applied. I don't know when you need the message, what the message means for you. I just know these are things I need to speak about passionately, openly, experience vulnerability with all of you, not in a manufactured way, but in a way that's authentic, truly authentic, right? You are not imagining what's happening right now. You are not imagining what's happening. You know what applies and when it applies, not just messages from me, but messages from your entire life. Every aspect, whether it is a billboard, song lyrics, the time, numbers, whatever it is, right? There's an attempt to block your ability to create new situations, new opportunities. So, village baby, going back to you, it is what it is, and what it is what I will make it. Got to take ownership of what happened. You got to get ahead of this. You need to reach out to your management and be like, I take full responsibility for the way in which I allowed my frustration to get the best of me. It was not appropriate. It was not professional. And I will accept whatever consequences you feel is appropriate. I'm hoping that you're able to show a little bit of leniency, but I completely understand if you can't. And I'm willing to accept whatever it is that you feel is appropriate. If you lose your job, that means it's time for you to find an even better job. You are not to sulk. You are not to use this as further evidence of why you don't deserve, why you cannot have, why nothing good ever happens to you. No, you make this what it needs to be. An opportunity to get to the next part. What the next part is what you're going to make it. Okay? There's no time to have a pity party for ourselves. This is a message for everyone. There is no time for us to have any type of pity party for ourselves, okay? That doesn't mean we ignore the way we feel because of what's happening. This is a guidance that you're being given. Our entire community is being given this guidance, okay? We do not have to. Oh, my nails look nasty. I got some eyeliner underneath there. Ew. Ooh. Yeah. Oh, that got me messed up. I hate nasty nails. Ooh. Okay. So we have to clear away whatever it is that needs to be cleared away. And what needs to be cleansed are the thoughts and the feelings that perpetuate this space of deficit that we're trying to come out of. Okay. There is something that's trying to shove you and keep you, hold you in a space of deficit. What you need to do is acknowledge, you know what? Man, I really messed up. I feel really angry with myself, but right now it's not appropriate to process this. I will process this later this evening before bed. Right now, I need to figure out how to mitigate the negative effects of what I did earlier or did not do earlier, but needed to. Right? You need to be able to create some type of hierarchy of what needs to be done and processed first. So, Guardian in reverse. Right now, energetically speaking, it is a free for all. It is a full on free for all right now. Um, our guardians and guides are preoccupied with securing certain channels, energetic channels, certain pathways, and all of these other things that we as humans pretty much are not aware of. We're, for the most part, not aware of these types of processes. So our guardians and our guides are addressing that. They're laying the groundwork for what we will be doing very shortly in the next few weeks, maybe the next month, 2 months, definitely before the end of the year. Okay. There are things that are being done. There are reasons we're being left to our own devices for now. It's not that we are being forsaken. It's not that we are being abandoned. Oh, Something doesn't want me to speak. I'm left with a choice right now, and I'm going to process this out loud. I can either choose to revert back to old patterns and become very reactive, intentionally allowing myself to become reactive to this type of nasty energy, or I can go ahead and intentionally, consciously choose to use my abilities, my elevated abilities, to harvest that energy and use that energy to further shield our community. I choose option 2. If you would like to receive an additional shield, a shield upgrade from me right now, put hashtag choose. Your girl ain't playing today. I ain't got time. And it is what it is, and what it is what I make it. Additional protection for our community if you choose to accept it. So hashtag choose if you'd like to receive this. Ooh, your girl. I am so short on time. It's okay. We're going to have just enough time to discuss everything that needs to be discussed. Breathe very deep and very slow. To the individual attempting to access my energy, I'm not explaining shit to you. To my community, breathe very deep, very slow. I'm flooding this space with my energy and fully reclaiming what has always been mine. For those of you sensitive to energy, you might begin to feel a pulsation and a warmth. I am actively harvesting that energy and purifying it. For those of you who are sensitive, you might begin to feel an extremely large presence. We are prepared to defend this community with force. We are prepared to fully converge if need be. That is the only show of grace. To my community, you might now begin to feel intense tingles across your entire space. The harvested energy is now being converted to an additional shield for you. I will always uphold my promise to keep the space that I share with all of you as clean and pure as I possibly can. And for those of you sensitive to energy, you might begin to feel extreme heat, a warmth increasing. I am not presented to the public in such a way that I'm left uncovered and unprotected. I will not stop Archive. He has full permission to defend me with a force that is appropriate. The enablement of these energies that seek to drain and derail and divide. You pick the right one on the right day. For the rest of my community, you might now begin to feel very just calm, very loved, powerful in your own space. Our community is strong, full of future leaders, energetic protectors. Our community is strong as individuals and as a collective group. Feel your power increasing. Feel how willing you are to receive the energy that was rightfully yours to begin with. Take a deep breath in. Slow exhale out. Come back to center. Rejoin me in this space that we share. All right, guys, how's everyone feel? And if you're watching the recording, really just let yourself feel the energies, the energy of how powerful you are. Allow the awareness of how capable you are. You no longer have to just allow things to happen to you, things to happen to your energy. Just because someone is intimidating you doesn't mean anything. Typically, when someone tries to intimidate, what that means is they know you are more powerful than them, and they need you to believe that you must be subservient, must be submissive. Hell no. I prefer to be in a state of submission, a state of just simply being, a state of peacefulness. The moment people, anyone, tries to be intimidating to me, well, I mean, you know, hmm. I take it as an invitation to get real ballsy and real bold. It is what it is. And what it is what I make it. Really use your power. Because right now, today, something is trying to disempower you. Something is trying to convince you that you are not as profound as I am claiming you are. Am I claiming? Am I making any claims, or am I simply speaking truth? Simply acknowledging that which I know to be true. To make a claim carries with it the implication that you are wanting to convince others of something. Do I need to convince you? No. You're going to believe what you're going to believe. I'm absolutely okay with that. And whatever it is that you believe is what will determine how you experience this period, how you live your life, and the degree of inconvenience, the degree of complications you're going to experience. Okay. But here's the factuality of things: you are secure within your own sacred space. You are secure within your own sacred space. Okay. Again, something is trying to convince you that you lack the strength, that this is not soul work that you are actively doing right now, that this is just evidence of how little you deserve, how little you are worthy. No, 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 no. Absolutely not. This is not within your nature, because your nature is to be the creator of your life. You see that? The creator. This disempowered state, this state of existing in deficit, this is not part of your nature. Okay? This is absolutely not part of your nature. You have to allow things to happen for yourself. And sometimes the way you allow it is by cultivating it. Happy birthday, Queen of Hearts. Versatility in reverse. Whatever is trying to affect your journey right now, it's not something that has the capacity to create. It does not have the capacity to um mm, mm-mm. They're trying to take away your capacity. I don't know who they are. Something is trying to convince you not to apply um another aspect of you to this circumstance. Connect to heart. See, there's two aspects of you coming forward. There is another side of you that's in opposition to the version of you that is currently in the primary position of personality, right? And I think what needs to happen is you need to allow this process to be the very thing that sets your sacred flame back on fire. Okay. So you need to allow these parts of you that have existed in the mother's womb and have been hidden away, to come forward. The challenges that are being presented right now are not just challenges. They are thinly veiled invitations to step into a space of really consciously choosing to allow these other aspects of your personal power to come forward. This is a very important period for all of us. Very, very important. You are the weaver. You are the one in control of when that string will be cut, when that string will continue to be weaved, and what that string will be creating for you. You are responsible for it either becoming tangled if you're not going to maintain it appropriately, if you're not going to maintain the appropriate level of tension on that string, it's not going to be this beautiful tapestry at the end. It needs to have a very uniform degree of tension. So, part of what's happening when people are allowing others to convince them that the goal of life is for life to be easy and that's how you know that you're on the right path. No, no, that's a lie. That does not carry with it the appropriate level of tension. Okay. It does not have within it the appropriate level of um, friction. Friction is evidence of movement. We need to be aware of what's happening right now. We're being powerfully positioned within our lives. We are being powerfully positioned within our lives. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Okay. The Magi. Um, I think for some of us, uh, we're being presented with interactions um, with someone who's like a magician, meaning someone who uses illusions. Okay, illusions. You got to be careful about those type of people in your life. You got to make sure you know who is in your life and what role they play. This does not mean you are being told to this does not mean that you are being told to cut everyone out. This means you are to be aware of what people's roles are in your life. Okay. Release. For some, you need to release some of these things, right? You need to release some of these things. Um, a new start is coming. Again, you're being told that this is the start of something. You are being told that this is an invitation and you need to rise to the occasion. You need to allow yourself to tap into the aspects of you that are the most powerful. Okay. Surrender to the divine, but it's in reverse. Whatever this is, it wants you to blame divinity. It wants you to think that you can usurp the power of divinity. It wants you to think that there are others who are more powerful than the divinity that exists within you. People can affect you. They can affect you by way of encouraging specific types of trauma responses to be elicited from you, but they cannot control you. They cannot dictate to you. They cannot force you to be something that you are not, right? Like, nothing demonic could ever force me to be a scammer, a fraud, someone who steals from others, because that's just not who I am. That's just not who I am. Something demonic can never force me to be a person who just hurts others because I can, because I'm more powerful. That's not who I am. That is not how I am. Demonic things, parasites, cannot create new characteristics. They can only amplify, exacerbate what already exists inside you. When you can allow yourself to be aware of how you truly are, the good and the bad, what you're proud of and what you're ashamed of, you sit in the center point of awareness. That is a powerful place to be. So surrender to the divine. Surrender only to the divine inside you, not to anything else. Do not allow yourself to be convinced that anything outside of you can dictate your journey to you. A time to give rather than to take. I think right now we need to sit in stillness rather than giving, rather than taking. Simply sit in stillness in a space of peaceful and neutral observation of yourself and your journey. That's what we all need right now. Take time to breathe out in reverse. So many meanings to this. One of the meanings that I'm getting is now is not the time to communicate things to others. Now is a time to go deep within the self and have conversations between the self and the soul. Now is a time for you to be very, very aware, because exhalation is a major component of communication. The way you verbalize and articulate your thoughts in an audible manner requires the exhalation of your breath. And if we are um, made in God's image, I mean, the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us. The Word was made flesh and dwelt among us. This is more than just the physical manifestation of that Christic consciousness. The Word was made flesh and dwelt among us. This is an explanation that we, as lower emanations of that consciousness of God, carry the ability to turn our words into manifestations. And once we do this, we will dwell with it. It will live with us. So you got to be careful and intentional about what you're breathing out into existence. Nothing will come of this situation, but it's in reverse. You decide what comes of this situation. You decide. You are the final deciding factor of what will happen when things try. Will they fail? Or will they be successful in derailing your progression? What do you need to release? It's in reverse. They don't want you to know what you need to release. What you need to do is allow yourself to feel things in a space that is safe for you to feel it. Okay? Yes, you should feel everything, but also, yes, not every situation, not every environment that you are in is the appropriate situation or environment to allow yourself to freely feel. It cannot be all or nothing where you're just going to be a hot ass mess everywhere you go or not feel anything at all. Like, part of being an adult is using discernment to know when circumstance requires certain parts of you to come out and other parts of you to kind of be quieted temporarily, right? Temporarily. Believe in the impossible. For those of us that struggle to regulate ourselves and regulate our emotions, you need to believe that you can. Emotions, unregulated emotions, unchecked emotions are a gaping pathway for parasitic things to enter your field right now. And part of this emotional dysregulation, part of the way we cope with that, part of the way we avoid the processing of that is by inserting ourselves into other people's circumstance. For y'all who cannot stay in your own goddamn lane, you need to be aware you're going to get breached. I got to be real harsh with this message right now. It's like grabbing you by the shoulders and shaking you to make you hear. You still have the final say in what you will do with what you hear. And you got to be honest with yourself. If you cannot stay in your own lane and not involve yourself in everyone else's circumstance because you don't want to deal with your own emotions right now, your own spaces that need you, you're going to get yourself breached and you're going to spread it to other people. That's the reality of it. You want to play like you know, you want to play like you have the answers for other people. This is my general rule of thumb for myself in my life. If I can't even regulate myself, I am in no position to be telling you advice for you. I'm just, and you guys have heard me before in expedites or in classes. I don't know what to advise you. I've never experienced this. I'm at a loss for words. I don't know what the next step forward is. I don't know what you should do. I'm unsure. I don't have all the answers. I don't know everything. I understand my proper place. I'm no longer in a space where I'm trying to volunteer everything. Because what? Because I hear soul. I hear what it's. No, that's not my place. Past several weeks, this has been the lesson, repeating over and over and over, being given excessive amounts of information. Am I to share this? Well, is their soul giving me this information just because it's communicating with me? Or is this their soul asking me specifically, hey, can you please communicate this message? If I'm not being directly asked, I need to shut myself up, because you know what? That is interference. That is me trying to control. That is an indication that I need to quiet down and see what I'm avoiding about my own self healing, right? That's what that means. I'm not speaking from a place of, hey, I've already learned this. I'm up here and all of you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I'm like, yo, I'm right there beside you. Like, look, my soul been testing me like a mofo. This is what I've learned. I hope it helps you. I don't know if it'll apply, but if it does, boo, apply it. Apply the salve. You're about to get burned by soul. Apply the salve. It might get hot because the lessons are intense, but at least you won't get burned by your own desire to consistently defy soul's invitation to rise above the trauma response, right? Be bold and make the first move. Be bold and be the one to choose to rise above simply being in a space of what? Triggered awareness. You're aware that you're triggered. And that's all you're going to do with it. I mean, we can't control everything, right? Sometimes we get triggered and we react before we can. Okay, that's okay. Take ownership. You know what? I'm very sorry. It was inappropriate for me to say this, do this, behave in this way. I need to take a step back. I crossed the line that I should not have crossed. It is not my place. I'm very sorry. Disregard what I said. I'm apologizing for whatever I did, genuinely, right? These are ways for you to begin navigating the process that you're currently in. I'm just going to look at these cards really quick because I have a session starting in a few minutes. All right. You're not listening to soul. You're aware, but you're expecting some type of assistance to come in, thinking you could act in whatever way. Is not going to come in. It is not going to come in. This is a very specific period that we're in right now. Things are not going to work the way you think. I'm sorry. I'm real sorry. I wish I had more time to explain. I can't. Shedding cycle in reverse. This is an indication that many of us are really struggling with letting go the parts of our personality, the parts of our character that we've already outgrown. We've shown ourselves that we have outgrown this, but we refuse to truly acknowledge that we have outgrown it. There's a part of us that still continues to go back to that. Okay, you need a little bit of wiggle room. You can't just force yourself to become this other aspect of you. It is a process. I know I'm like not fully making sense because it's like you have to do this, but there's no. Well, we have to be realistic. This is a process. And the reality is, because I'm pressed on time, I'm speaking so passionately. Tone it down when you receive my words. I'm incapable of regulating that right now. You're being invited to do shadow work, to allow the most powerful parts of you to make itself known, right? You're not going to be allowed to use your intuition to sabotage this process. And the second message, for many, you're not even using your intuition. So it is what it is, right? You're not going to reach a new dimension until you address fully whatever it is you're needing to address in this one. I think for many of us, it's this thing of stepping out of this space where we think we have to save others, stepping out of this space where we think that we consistently need to be in war mode. I'm aware that I was made for war. I'm also aware that I was pre-programmed down to my core to adhere to the laws of Bushido. So, what does that mean? I will not attend every single battle or war I am invited to. I will not dull my sword, the sacredness of my sword, on things that are not worthy of my interaction. That's that. And people will hear that. And those who are not ready to receive the gravity of that message and apply it to their journey, they'll hear that and they'll be like, oh, this girl thinks she all that. Yes, the fuck I am. I shocked myself right now. Yes, the fuck I am. As part of my shadow work, I have struggled so deeply to acknowledge the gravity of me. My shadow work is my own. And yes, the fuck I am. I am all that, meaning I am all the things I need to be to fulfill my divine purpose for myself and for others. You thought I meant, I think I'm the shit? No. I only think I'm the shit if by shit you mean fertilizer, the very material that God will use to help others grow. I know my purpose. I know my place. And it's not to be superior to others. It's to serve as a mirror to the power that lives inside you. We're equals. We're equals. The only proper positioning for me is shoulder to shoulder with you. And I never was able to wrap my mind around that way back when. I thought I could never acknowledge the gravity of me, because to do so would put me on a pedestal. And no, honey, I had to learn the hard way. If God places me on a pedestal, it's not because I am more loved. It is because I'm serving as a light to help others find their way back home to themselves. Why keep a candle on the floor where its light is not the most visible and therefore not the most useful? Place it in a space of elevation so it could serve its purpose to the highest degree. And that is what I've learned. They will try, but they will fail. Do not allow them to convince you that you are less than what you are. You are created in perfect time and measure. Every aspect of you was intentionally designed to exist. Y'all got this. The last thing I'll leave you with is my awareness. A lot of my lessons in life were dragged out for far too long. It gave me the opportunity to really nitpick and really, really just get down to the core, the heart of what I was being taught in the most painful ways. What I'll leave you is an awareness that you don't have that luxury, that you are to learn things quickly, that you are to accept yourself as quickly as you can, knowing there is still room for growth, for adjustment, for slight modifications. You don't have the luxury that I was given. You don't have the luxury to hurt for years unnecessarily. You need to grow quickly. So it's going to hurt a lot, but it's going to be done fast. You'll be brought to the edge of thinking you can't exist this way any longer. If you could just take one step past that point, I think you'll begin to understand what it was all about and why it was so necessary and how powerful you actually are. And my emotions, come from a place that in some ways I'm ashamed. Comes from a place of wanting to control. What do I mean by that? That it hurts my heart that I can't stop this from being experienced by you. That I can't prevent you from hurting and being so frustrated and feeling so alone. Because it's not my place to. It's not my place to rob you of the opportunities that will allow you to elevate your potentiality. And although I'm aware to my core, I'm a mom. And to know that someone I love, someone that I feel charged to take care of, is going to hurt and struggle even for a little bit. That hurts. But I know it's needed. And I know in me taking a step back and sharing openly the whys of what I'm feeling, I know that to whatever degree is necessary, it carries with it the implication that you are to know how deeply I believe in your capacity to overcome everything. Everything. So do it. I've never needed to be proven right. I've never needed agreement except for now. I need you to show me how accurate I am in my belief that you are powerful, that you will rise to this invitation from soul. I gotta go, guys. I gotta go. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. I'm late for my session. I'm sorry, guys. I'll see you again very soon.